Ever get this this creepy feeling like the world's got these secrets and it's holding on to them,
Yeah.
And we're out here mapping the planet, launching rockets, but some places are just mysterious.
Yeah.
They give you chills.
Right.
Alaska Triangle, that's the poster child for that. Over 20,000 people gone, vanished in that wilderness.
It's wild.
And I bet you're thinking Bermuda Triangle 2.0, right?
It's hard not to.
But Alaska's not some myth. It's real.
Wow.
And it's brutal. Like the line between a nice hike and a fight for your life, thinner than a compass needle up there.
What most people miss is it's the environment itself. It practically creates mystery. You've got magnetic anomalies messing with compasses, microclimates that flip-flop on a dime, sunshine to snowstorm, just like that. And the vegetation. So dense a search party could walk right past you and never know.
It's like the land itself is playing games, and not the fun kind. Speaking of which, remember that statistic? Alaska's missing persons rate?
Oh, it's grim.
Double the national average. 2,250 people every year, each one. A whole story.
Absolutely. And just try to picture a search and rescue in that terrain. One wrong turn, you're in a ravine, face to face with a grizzly.
Yeah.
No city comforts here, no witnesses, no CCTV. Alaska doesn't give up its secrets easily.
So we've got this vast, unforgiving, secretive wilderness, which leads us to, well, the E case, the one that put the Alaska Triangle on the map. Hale Boggs and Nick Bagich.
1972, planes carrying a U.S. House Majority Leader and a congressman. Poof.
Good on. Just like that.
No mayday, no wreckage. Can you imagine being on those search teams? The pressure?
I read they launched a massive search. Planes, boats, hundreds of people. Weeks they were out there. Nothing.
And this was 72, long before GPS, satellite tracking, all that.
Yeah.
Even today, a disappearance like that, it's unsettling. But back then, must felt like the world just, I don't know.
Like stepping into the Twilight Zone. Except it was real, tragically real. And as if that wasn't enough, there's another case. Gary Frank Southerden always gets me thinking.
Southerden. Now that's a case that reminds you Alaska doesn't need, mystical forces to be dangerous. Young Hunter goes missing mid-70s, presumed lost. Just another whisper in the wind.
Until, years later, Hunter finds a skull. Talk about a cold case.
1997 for the discovery. Then another 25 for DNA to catch up. Confirmed it was Southerden. Thing is, the Alaska Triangle, all the hype, it overshadows these sadly solvable cases.
Yeah.
Makes you remember the real dangers, the day-to-day risks of being in that wilderness.
Right. Like for every unexplained vanishing, there are probably many more with tragic but understandable explanations. But still, our minds, they wander, don't they? We're faced with the unknown and we have to try and explain it. We have to.
Yeah, so we're wired that way, aren't we? Got to find answers, connect the dots, even when there aren't any. And the Alaska Triangle. So much space, so much silence. It's like a blank canvas for the imagination to go wild.
Right.
And some people, they try to find answers in science. Like, you've heard about those theories about magnetic fields, right?
Yeah, the magnetic anomalies, right? Messing with equipment, messing with your senses.
Exactly. Imagine that. You're out there, compass going haywire. You're sure you're going south.
You're heading deeper into the wilderness.
Exactly. And you know what? Alaska does have something called magnetic declination.
Yeah, I was reading about that.
It's the difference between true north
Yeah.
and magnetic north, you see.
Yeah.
Navigators, especially the pilots, they have to account for it. But whether it's strong enough to cause all those disappearances, that's a whole different story.
Okay, so a grain of truth, maybe, but not the whole picture. But, we can't talk about mysteries without the alien angle.
Oh, of course. Alien abductions, always a classic. And honestly, it's kind of understandable, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many people gone, no trace, no answers. Makes you
Yeah.
wonder.
I'll admit, I've had a few X-Files thoughts going through all this, but you seem to be leaning more towards, the earthbound explanations. What about the more down-to-earth dangers, the ones people forget about?
See, that's the thing about Alaska. It demands respect. You forget that.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're talking about a place where one wrong step could mean, I don't know, a moose decides you're in its territory. Those things are huge.
And not exactly friendly when they're angry.
Or even worse, imagine running into a bear in the middle of nowhere.
Yikes. No thanks.
Yeah.
Your GPS isn't going to help you there.
Exactly. And these aren't just, wildlife encounters. They're reminders. Of how powerful nature is, how important it is to be prepared. Because if something goes wrong out there in the Alaskan wilderness, it could be days, weeks even, before anyone even knows you're gone.
So we've got the disappearances, we've got the theories, everything from magnetic fields to aliens. But you know what really struck me while researching this? It's so easy to get caught up in the mystery, we forget about the human cost.
Yeah.
Every statistic, every missing person, that's a story. Families, friends, left wondering, searching for answers they may never get.
It's true. The human element, it's everything. It's so easy to get lost in the intrigue of the Alaska Triangle, but each case, it's a life, loved ones left behind, haunted by the mystery.
It's like that saying, the mountains don't care.
Exactly. They're indifferent. Our plans, our presence, it means nothing. And honestly, sometimes that indifference is scarier than any magnetic anomaly or alien abduction.
It's weird, right? We're always trying to, like, conquer nature, bend it to our will. But then you get a place like the Alaska Triangle, and it reminds you, some things, they're just bigger than us.
And I think that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. Yeah. You can look at the data, you can argue about the theories, but sometimes the best answer is just, there are IS, no answer. It's just mystery.
Yeah, it's like looking up at the stars. You know there's this whole universe out there, things we can't even imagine. And sometimes it's almost too much. You just got to sit with it.
Exactly. And Alaska. It's got that same pull, that beauty, that wildness, even the danger. People are drawn to it. There's something about testing yourself against that backdrop, something amazing, something scary.
Makes me think of those, like, survival guides for hikers, for adventurers. Pack extra layers, tell someone where you're going, be aware of the wildlife. It's like a metaphor, right? For how to approach anything unknown.
Right. Be prepared. Be aware. Respect what you're dealing with. Good advice no matter where you are, really.
So we've gone deep on this Alaska Triangle thing, the disappearances, the theories, everything. So what's the takeaway? Booking flights to Anchorage, grabbing some bear spray and a tinfoil hat.
Maybe let's leave the tinfoil hats behind. But seriously, I think the real lesson is, maybe it's not about solving the mystery, it's about holding on to that sense of wonder, respecting what we don't know, remembering how powerful nature is, how strong the human spirit is, even in the face of the unknown.
Well said, well said. And hey, if you find yourself hiking in Alaska, maybe pack both, the compass and the good luck charm. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember, sometimes the best stories are the ones that leave you wanting more.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Please share your feedbacks and thoughts through comments.